that a pick me will never get picked. You will audition until the day you die. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright, so let me put them. It's super early. I'm not gonna hold you guys long. I'm just getting ready for work. Fire alarm beeping, it has to be changed. We're gonna talk about Derrick Jaxn and his wife and that whole situation really quickly, because a couple weeks back, probably 2 or 3 weeks back, I saw this video on TikTok and I made a stitch on it. I did a video about it because I thought it was super important to put that out there. The girl was basically saying that she wants to put some word of advice out there, and that she doesn't care and she knows that people are gonna call her a pick me, but guess what? She's married, she's already chosen. So you cannot say, oh, I hope she gets picked, blah, 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 because she's basically saying, I've gotten picked. I already got picked. I got chosen. I'm married. So I'm going to give you this piece of advice. And obviously, the advice was basically centered around how to bend down, bow down, please your man, or else this and that, blah, blah, is going to happen. Something to that effect, either way. So then I created a video about that because I thought it was super interesting that in 2023, people still don't understand that a pick me never gets picked. Ever. Not in this life, not in the next. A pick me will never get picked. And here's why. So now bringing it back to the Derrick Jaxn situation, right, with his wife, Derrick Jaxn. Only God knows the kind of stress that that woman has endured, just knowing virtually, just us virtually knowing the kind of man that she's married to. Someone who actually, his advice for women wasn't bad, right? He's supposedly a relationship guru. Isn't bad. His advice wasn't bad. His advice was actually really great, but it didn't really favor men who are abusive, basically. Two things can be true at the same time. You could give great relationship advice and be a horrible human being and be a terrible partner. There are a lot of doctors who go out there and heal people and are incredibly painfully unhealthy. Terrible patients themselves, incredibly unhealthy. He gave really great advice, but horrible narcissistic individual, right? Based on how he treated his wife. So if you look at past pictures of his wife, Derrick Jaxn, right? If you look at the past pictures that she's had, like, this woman is a gorgeous, hot tamale, beautiful woman. However, given everything that has been going on, now what we're seeing is a woman stressed as hell, wearing a bonnet, walking around, only God knows what is in her mind, cursing people, basically using witchcraft, from the Bible to curse people. That is an act that's pure witchcraft, right? And if you think that this is a joke, the Bible is full of magic, right? Full of even step-by-step lessons on how to perform magic, full of curses, full of blessings, full of all those things, right? The Bible is full of it, but is it the Christian way? No, because the way of the Christ is love. That's it. I don't care what else. The way of the Christ is love. But even while Christ was here, he did some crazy shit. We're not going to go into that. We're just going to talk about the woman that she's become. He's been exposed for cheating, but now he's been exposed again. And literally the day after he got exposed, he decided, oh, we're filing for divorce. That's strange, because the person who was filing for divorce before the first time you got exposed was your wife. And now his wife is out here delusional, screaming, cursing people, telling them about who's gonna die, their unborn children, etc. All that, cursing people, instead of facing the person, the enemy within, right? Which is the way that she has chosen to accept and not walk away from someone who's pretty much causing her hypertension. pretty much ruining her life, right? She wanted to walk away before, then she came back, and now cursing people, wearing bonnet, basically hiding under Christianity as to why she's not doing what's right for herself. She's not loving on herself, right? And how do you love on yourself when someone is abusing you and you have a way to go? Is you go out of that situation that's hurting you, right? Because it's not serving you in any way. If it was serving her, okay, fine. It's not. Instead, she's cursing people, talking about righteousness. Meanwhile, her husband is, 6 feet deep, if his ding dong is 6 feet. But however long deep, however inches deep inside, several women, right? And so instead of attacking that situation or looking within herself and as to why I don't have the strength to move away from this, what you did was curse everybody out and created some version of a wife school, but basically an infidelity school for how to stay and deal with infidelity, how to stay and deal with infidelity in a marriage. Can you imagine? This woman has a school on how to stay and deal with infidelity in a marriage. This is why I come to reiterate that a pick me will never get picked. You will audition until the day you die, right? Because it's rooted in patriarchy. You audition for your father so that he can say, well done, good daughter, whatever the case may be, right? You do everything in the house. You audition for your brothers. You take care of them, wash their dishes, do all that, because they're phallic individuals. They have a phallus, right? A schlong. You audition after that for your husband, or should I say for your boyfriend, right? Fiance, if it's an arranged marriage, whatever. Then you audition for your husband till the day you die. That is how pick me works. Your hand is always raised. Your hand is always raised. Pick me. A pick me never gets picked. So you think that, oh, your father says, well done, that will be the end of it? No, you have to continue. You have to continue the auditioning. You have to continue the work, because the second that you stop and you rest in yourself, in your authentic self, centered around you, around your values, what you want for yourself, what you love about yourself, your aspirations, your dreams, etc., where you are the center of this compass, the second you relax and say, oh, I'm exhausted from work, I'm not gonna cook, I'm gonna let my husband cook, or I'm gonna order food out. All of a sudden it's like, you're a bad wife, you're a bad this, like, ew, what the hell? The second that you default to your authentic self, your restful self, yourself, the second you default to that, you're done. You're done. A pick me never gets picked. She used to dress up so beautifully, and she's still like, at the end of the day, you gotta do what works for you, right? If you want to wear helmets and all that, it has to be for yourself, not for the helmet of salvation to keep your man and your home and your this and your that. Like, who told you you're not enough? You've always been enough. Naked from your mom's womb, you've always been enough. So if you walked around with literally nothing on, you're enough. You're perfect. You're clean. You're wholesome. You're still Christ-like. You're all these amazing things. If you walked around naked, right? If you walked around in a thong, if you walked around with nipple covers, if you covered just your top, if you covered just your bottom, if you covered everything, if you covered your face with a burqa, with everything, with a hoodie, with a helmet of salvation on your hair, you're never haram. You're always halal. But you have to do it for yourself. The second you start centering other people, one man, one auntie, one that, and completely at the expense of yourself, at the expense of your actual well-being, that's where the matters arise. And I just wanted to talk about it. If you ever think of centering men in your life, you would have to do it till the day you die, and I hope you're ready. Or till the day you're ready to lose him and lose yourself in the process. Anyway, you've already lost yourself by centering anything that is not you, because your entire being now depends on that other entity to align with what you were supposed to be doing for yourself. Just let's be guided, you guys. I'm still working on the Love Academy. I haven't forgotten. It's going to be spectacular. Just wanted to come and talk about this, Derrick Jaxn situation, and just let you guys know that pick-me's never ever in this life get picked. You will never get picked. If today a man's like, oh my God, you wash my clothes, you clean my underwear, you brush my teeth for me, shit, you damn near walked me to work, you paid for everything, you paid my rent, you did all that stuff, it benefits him. So obviously, why go to Jennifer down the street or the hot girl who's gonna be like, well, you do not fit into my life. I want to go to Japan, I want to travel, I want to do all these things, and it makes you upset. So instead of accepting me and let's compromise on what works for the both of us, you want me to fit into your... No, like, I'm an individual. They're not going to go to her. They're not. They're not going to so-called... No, they are going to go to her. Or they're going to go to everyone, right? They desire that, but they cannot control, right? And if you cannot control a human being, right, you can only mess around, be there once in a while, and know that your time will be temporary, because the second she realizes that you're a controlling person who has, insecure, blah, blah, she would walk away. So they have to go with the girl who's going to be meek and lowly and so-called Christian-like, which is, trample over me because I'm your neck. Who cares? You're the head, right? They're going to allow that. And if you're going to allow that, and then you're going to take care of them on top of the insult and everything, and STDs and all that, they're going to marry you. It's a win-win. They're going to put you in the house while they go around and be with everybody else, right? You got to center you so that you can have that partnership, that both of you center yourselves, love yourselves, fill yourselves up, and come together to share those experiences, to enjoy the wholeness of each other. It's fun, it's amazing, challenging sometimes, but in a very good way, because you're not putting yourself down, you're not covering yourself, you're not hiding yourself. You're fully walking within what you're supposed to do. You're centering yourself.